We've got new parts in the shop tonight. Oh yeah. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. I'm glad you guys are here tonight. We've got a special project on the little Chevy 2 here. We're going to be working on the coil brackets and kind of relocating the coils a little bit. So let me fill you guys in on that. But first, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. We really appreciate it. And thank you guys for checking it out. So let's get to tonight's project. And anytime you get a package with car parts, it's kind of like Christmas, right? So here we go. We got this package in, and what we've got here, let's dump it out, is from Borowski Race Engines. And these are their coil mount brackets. So this thing's pretty sweet. Let's just back up a little bit and explain what we've got going on. So on this Chevy 2, I have had these coils mounted up under the dash and hidden out of sight. So pretty nice bracket I made where we could mount these up under the dash, right behind where the radio would have been, and you can't see them. Really nice setup. I actually have some different coils under there now, still running them under the dash. The problem I'm running into is I keep having ignition issues. And I'm kind of tired of fooling with these things when they're up under the dash. It's just really a pain to get to. So I decided I want to move them back to the engine bay. The problem is I don't like most of the brackets that are out there on the market right now. I just don't like the way they look. I don't like the way, it just really clutters up the engine bay. So I want to keep it clean because we've got a clean setup here, right? So it's not all cluttered up. It's just really clean. You can see the valve covers nicely. You don't have a lot of junk under here. So these that Borowski have are really a nice setup. They're kind of going to sit up here, kind of above the valve cover. I'll probably have to play with this hose routing a little bit just to make sure everything clears and I can get it all to route. But that's one of the things I'm going to have to figure out. Also, they don't really sell these to the public normally. They're not even like listed on their website because their valve covers that they run are billet, and they have them machined to be able to tap for these brackets so they can run a bolt into there. Where these cast valve covers that I have, these Chevy Performance ones, aren't really set up for it. So I'm probably going to have to do some fabrication. I knew that going in. I told them, look, I understand there's going to be some fabrication involved. I'll figure it out. So it's going to be some trial and error. This is probably going to be a multi-day project. It may take me a couple weeks, just depending on how much I get over here to work on it. But pretty excited. So yes, it will clutter back up the engine compartment a little bit, but I think this is where it's function over form. So it's going to function way better. It's just going to be easier to get to, easier to fool with. If you have a coil issue, you're not up under the dash trying to figure it out. So I just think this is going to be a better setup long term, even if it doesn't look quite as clean, but I think we're still going to make it look pretty slick. So anything we do, we're going to do top notch, right? So anyway, let's get into it. I got to figure it out. We've got our bags of parts here. So I'm going to take this bracket apart, get everything off of this, get my coils separate. Then we can lay them out here, and I've kind of been looking at some photos online of how they all go together. So we'll mock it up, and then I can stick them in the engine bay and just kind of see how it's going to look. So pretty excited to get started. So let's go ahead and take this apart. Alright, got the bracket disassembled. So now I've got my 8 coils here. We've got the fast coil sitting here, and then we've got our brackets. So it's going to have basically 3 standoffs. These are the standoffs here. 3 standoffs per side. So one at the front, one in the middle, and one at the other end. So I'm going to lay it out, and then they'll kind of hook together and support each other with 3 mounting points on the valve covers. So I'm going to lay out all the parts here, see if I can't figure out how we line up these spacers and everything. And that way we can carry it over the engine bay and kind of see how it looks on the valve covers, see what kind of interference we're going to have, and what we need to do. So let's take a stab at it here. Okay guys, it's like Christmas when you get a new bicycle and it's raining outside because you can't play with it. So what we've got going on is the new brackets are not going to work. So let me show you why. All right. Okay, when we put these in here, they mount up really sweet. I would have had to do some fabricating, but could have got them mounted on here. All right, there we go. Now you can see it. The problem is that new coolant tank I've got for my supercharger is in the way. That hose comes out right where we need these coils to be. Also, right in here is a breather fitting that we've got for venting the valve cover. So it hits there. So on this side, it's hitting in two spots with this hose and then that breather vent that we have. Then on the other side, same deal, right? So it's a mirrored setup, so it's the same bracket for each side. When we put them on here, you can't see it real well right now, but you can see that breather on the back of the valve cover. Right there. That is hitting as well. So they're not going to work, bottom line. Been fooling with it, been looking at it, thinking about it, and can't get it figured out. Without moving a bunch of stuff, without moving the tank out and relocating that and changing a bunch of other stuff that, yeah, I'm just not going to do that. So I got to go to plan B. So I'm not sure what I'm going to come up with. I've got a couple other plans that I'm pondering. So I'm going to have to think about it, do a little research. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do, I know I'm going to get them out here somewhere because I'm just tired of having them under the dash and fooling with it. It's too much work when they're up under here. So I'm going to go ahead and work on getting the coils that are mounted under the dash out of there. I've got that other set that's under there. And get all that out, get everything unhooked, and then that way I'm ready to start trying to route the coil harness through the firewall because I don't have that routed through yet. So it'll probably come in somewhere just below the fuel pressure regulator right there. So somewhere down in there where it's hidden. So I'll have to drill the firewall and use a grommet or something. But I can go ahead and work on that piece while I'm pondering what I'm going to do over here with the brackets. So I've got a couple different options I'm thinking about. But anyway, that's where we're at. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Okay, I got the coils out from under the dash now. So got the bracket out. You can actually see it right here. So these are the truck style coils. So I had this, ooh, don't drop it. Had this bracket mounted up under the dash and it was just bolted to the dash, rivet nuts in it, holding it on there. But these are the coils I was running this last time, up under the dash. I showed you the other bracket previously with more of the LS3 style coils. So I've got this out now. I need to get out the plug wires. And we can see the plug wires here, and they're just run through the firewall. You can see there's just 8 individual grommets running through the firewall for each plug wire that was going up under here, up underneath the dash. So what I need to do is, in order to get these in here, I had to run them through the firewall, then put the ends on. So I'm just going to cut them all right here, pull them back out of the firewall, and then where those holes are, where the plug wires are coming through now, I've got some blank grommets that I can put in there to fill in those holes. So we'll just seal that up. And you never see it. When you're sitting in the car, you can't, you'd be laying on the ground here to see in here. So normally you can't even see that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these, pull the plug wires back through, and get all the plug wires off the car. And then what I need to do is, these are the coil harnesses here. So there's the odd and then the even. So I need to get these routed over, and we're going to drill a hole. Let's see, kind of up in that blank spot there next to where those other wires. So this is where the main harness is going through the firewall. So we'll probably come over here next to it,
and run these coil harness plugs through the firewall there so that we can plug them in the engine compartment there. So probably do that next. I'll go ahead and cut all these plug wires, get them out of here, get them off the engine and out of the way, and then get the drill down here and go ahead and drill out where we're going to run those harness through the firewall. So let's get that done. Okay guys, successful day here. We have got the wires routed through the firewall now. So we've got odd and even side. Obviously I have to tuck them up in here. And I haven't tightened this grommet up yet. I've got 2 bolts that are gonna hold that on. But I need somebody to hold an Allen on the outside while I turn it in here with a ratchet. So right now it's just loosely up there, but if we take a walk outside here, I can show you where they're coming through the firewall. Pretty clean setup. Let's see if I can do it without getting in front of the light. And I can't. Alright, there we go. Alright, so you can see here we got odd and even coming out of there. Just below, kind of to the right of the fuel pressure regulator. So I think it's a pretty clean setup. Once we get that grommet tightened up, it'll seal that gap up. But overall it looks pretty good, so I'm pretty pleased with it. So we've got the ends coming out here. We'll be able to hook to our coil harnesses once we decide exactly where we're going to mount the coils. I've got an idea, but I'm not going to say anything yet until I figure out what I want to order and what's going to work. So we'll see. Stay tuned. So we'll jump back on it. I'm going to order some parts. So maybe later this week, get back over here and try and wrap this project up. We'll see.